Guys, check this out. Good morning, by the way. It's only 8:01 a.m. here in California. We're running on PST, I believe. So if we take a look here at the dollar, we're seeing that it's currently up for today. So that's the Monday candlestick right there, looking like it almost looked like a bullish hammer, or it did start off as a bullish hammer. So there's a possibility that it's gonna go up. I'm I'd say at the very least 103.85 if it does try to retest recent highs, because if we take a look here on the daily chart, it was 104.8. That's where it had this huge red candlestick. So in order for the dollar to be bullish, it has to cross above this. So it has to cross above 104. But remember, the dollar have or has been having inverse correlation with the stock market and crypto markets, and the reason for that is, like, if you think about it, when the dollar is going up, what is that telling us about the stock and crypto markets? That means more people are putting their money into the dollar or converting it back to the dollar. So if you take a look at Dow Jones today, this has a lot of companies in the industrial sector, I believe. So like if you think of like Home Depot, that'll be one of the mega cap companies. So Dow Jones today is pulling back for the day, but it has been consolidating in a range. So if we zoom out on higher time frames, it'll tell us more. It'll show us more of how it looks. So if you take a look here, so for this is the resistance that it's been trying to break since April 18 of 2022. See, that's why I drew that green trend line, because every time it tries to break above that trend line, it's just nope, can't do it. So it's gonna have to retest new lows, and then if it bounces from that new lows, then it might try to retrace that top again. And as you can see, the longer it takes for it to try and break that top, the harder it is to break. So if it breaks it, it needs to hold above it too for a while in order for it to be, I guess you could say, be bullish in the mid long term. So the longer we consolidate at this range, I'd say the better it is, because historically that's usually what happens. So we're now looking at the 1 month chart right now. So if you take a look, if we make the screen bigger here, the 1 month chart, that's how long it's been taking us to try and break that top. It's looking more and more clear, because each candlestick represents a month. So in a month, usually we have like 4 to 5 weeks, and in a week we have 7 days. So you get the idea. So the lower the time frame, I'd say the more action there is in regards to trading. But if you're an investor, usually you're doing long term, right? So I do kind of like both. So if there is a short term opportunity, then I will try to look for trades. So let's see here. So before I do my trades, I usually just look at the stock market indexes first, just to see where we're at in terms of trend. And on top of that, I look at the stock market fear and greed index. Right now, we're in extreme fear, and usually what that tells me is whenever we're in extreme greed, you see here, right? It usually doesn't last that long. Maybe for at most a few weeks or a couple months, as you see here, don't really last that long. So this is probably by far it's been it's been greedy. So we're probably at the tail end of it. It's usually on average lasts about 2 months. Well, as seen on this graph at least, but it's not really showing how it's been in past. But I'm curious now. Maybe I could go check it out on TradingView. So stock market fear and greed. Fear and greed. Let's see. Is there such thing here? Or let's just put fear and greed. Let's see. Fear and greed. Nope. Maybe we could take a look on Google. Usually Google will tell you if there is a trading view, fear and greed. Trading view, fear and greed chart. The fear and greed index FNG. That's the sentiment of the crypto market. Okay, it is based on 7 crypto fear and greed index. Oh, it's mainly for crypto. So, yeah, crypto right now, I think it's neutral. It did hit here, um, recently, just briefly. But if the stock market tanks, then yeah, crypto is definitely gonna follow follow suit. So Dow Jones, it's clearly going down or been trading sideways for a while now since November 2022. Wow. Yeah, kind of like what happened here when we were kind of trading sideways until it started going down in January 3 of 2022, beginning of last year. We've been on a downtrend for like over a year. Yeah. Wait, no, not over a year, sorry. Almost a year. Like 9 months or something. Yeah, 9 months from January to September. Yeah, that's about 9 months. And then let's take a look now at Nasdaq. See how Nasdaq's doing. So Nasdaq, um, if you zoom in here, Nasdaq is trying to break above this level here. So if it could consolidate for a couple months, okay, let's say it breaks above this trend line here. Even if it does that, I still wouldn't be super bullish because of the sentiment of the markets recently. So if it could break or yeah, break above, I'd say if it could go all the way up to 15,823 and consolidate around like 14,391 for a few months, then that would be a bullish sign. That means it's like forming a like I'd say maybe a mid-term, long-term cup and a handle, kind of like right here. So after broke out, use this area as support, and then broke out again. Use a higher level as support, and then another breakout. And then it tried to use this area again as support, but slightly higher because it was able to close right around here and broke out again. So yeah, it's there's still a possibility it could retest as low as this area right here, sometime maybe end of the year or even in 2024, between 2023 and 2025, somewhere around there. Yeah, it needs to hold this area as support right here. This is area of support right here so far. But near-term support will be right around here. So I'm looking to enter the market heavily if it could validate. If we get a bounce right around 13,089, that will be confirmation, and I'd say maybe enough validation. As long as it bounces for let's say a month, like all the way up here, and then retest that low again, then I will re-enter into the market. So that's the game plan, guys. So if you're watching, if you have a lot of tech stocks, Nasdaq is one of the stock market indexes that you should be watching just to get a general idea of the current trend of the markets. Because it's usually I think mega cap companies that moves the market. So also if you're like investing in Microsoft, Apple, and um other big tech company names out there, then yeah, they be certainly moving the markets whenever they have like whenever, let's say, they even go down or up 1% in a day, that's like a big deal because they're so big already. They're like in, I think, billions of dollars. Some of them, I think, almost $1 trillion company. So S&P 500 is also one of those stock market indexes that you should be watching if you are invested in the tech sector. So for this one, I'd say if it's gonna go up, it could possibly go up even as high as 4,500 before year end. But the question is, will it be able to hold that level? Because as seen in the past here, we were only able to hold that maybe for 4 months. Sorry, yeah, we kind of traded sideways before having this leg down here, and then traded sideways. We're just basically just been trading sideways all this time. We haven't gotten anywhere. So um, so yeah, that'd be a positive sign as long as it could sustain. I'd say once it breaks out to as high as like 4,500, as long as it could consolidate at around 43.34, that's the level I'm looking at. Maybe even as low as 42.30, that would be bullish. But otherwise, we might be retesting 4,000 or even as low as 35.86 between 2023 through 2025. So keep that in mind, guys. So we're mainly talking about I'd say the mid long term right now, but for short term, let's see. We could go down to 1 week and see how it's looking like. So right now, I'd say if you're gonna enter, if you're gonna buy stock or something or some stocks, look for stocks that are looking like they're at a support level. That means that they could get bought up in the near term, but don't put too much because you don't want to have you don't want to have a long position whenever the market is already like pretty greedy right now. So I'd still dollar cost average on that investment. And so lastly, I think we want to take a look at Bitcoin, right? You guys are probably invested a little bit in crypto, but I don't know if you guys heard the news, but yeah, Binance is halting deposits and withdrawals. I think only on the 13th. So I just pull my money out just in case. Yeah, there's a little bit of uncertainty in the crypto markets right now, but yeah, technically speaking, though, it could be at a level where it could have a bounce to at least as high as 479. So because this is like near term support right here, this trend line, as you can see, the trend line just kept going higher and higher. The support just kept going higher and higher. We're currently going to be, if we have another leg up, this is going to be the third one, because the first one was from back in January to 2023 when we've been trading at around 15 to 16k, and then we had that move up to 17k, and a big move up from January 9 to January 16, from like right around 70,000 to 20k. Finally broke out of this big candle from November 7, 2022. I think that was the FTX crash. So we're not, if we don't break higher anytime soon, we might be seeing Bitcoin go down between 20k to 24k, 20, or like, yeah, 24.5k. So keep that in mind, guys.